Robert Slauson was not seen again till the trial regarding Carl and Leecher and their murder of 12 innocent. No, the thing.
Shut up. Shut up. I can tell.
The first part of the tape is quite clear.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah,
We're good.
Okay.
yeah.
Can I just...
Yeah, do it.
Okay. As well as Abe Circo, who were accused with killing Carl and Leecher. However, Neil Armin testified against Julio Epren, who was sentenced to life imprisonment for manslaughter. This famous trial of March 1985 included Klaus Oppenheimer, Henry Wolfsheim, Abe Circo, Neil Armin, Clark Weathersbury, and Julio Epren. During the middle of the trial, Judge Exxon Hochstetler threw in the towel because there was too much personal anger involved and favor towards the killer Epren, so he quit his whole goddamn job altogether. It was sad. He was the judge and had been involved with some of the most famous cases in the Midwest history, aside from that publicity hog Gacy, that selfish prick. But he killed 32 people, whereas Pigface only killed 14. But only someone as sick as me and Obadiah Jr. would make a contrast, right? Of course, I knew you would say something like that. The after years. Things were pretty regular around Milwaukee for the next 4 years. Despite numerous efforts, Gary Carr III was never reunited with Klaus or Cecilia, or his son for that matter. And so he was forced to spend a life of romantic hell spent in the bed of that horrible Frigmerm. So now they just become lovers. Henry Wolfsheim, as it turned out, in 1989 was married to Phoebe's sister, Sarah Colin-Mayer Huxley, who, that's not what I meant, Cecilia's sister, who at one time was married to Burchard, the third grandson to Aldous Huxley. But all this relief did not mean the end of the copulous friendship of our story's luscious heroes, nor did it mean the complete satisfaction or merit the end of such disastrous encounters. In fact, the 4 years preceding 1989, which, in case you were wondering, is the year Batman was released, these years were the finally you're really distracting me.
Bitch.
These years were the finally steps toward the cusp of the verge of the brink of the doubly incredulous, haphazardous, and bloodthirsty quenching maraudery, for still in the deserts of Kuwait, a skinny old man was prowling. The morning of October 9th, 1989. Klaus had been trying to arrange an appointment with Clark Weathersbury all afternoon, but was disappointed to hear that he was busy with a range of diplomatic, unbeknownst to Klaus, that which involved Neil Armin, who later in the evening would send this fateful facsimile transmission to Dear brothers of the Undeveloped Justice Band, I bring you the words of my brother, Felix, who is, in short, not my brother. He has informed me that over the last 4 years, the monkey killer has undoubtedly absquatulated to and settled in subsequently the town of Danzig, Poland, where he now holds mass near the tower of Sir Phosphorus, whoever that isn't. He continues to preach the word of the Alliance for Progressive Assembly and is followed by a party of Ukrainian shepherds, the leader of whom, Hofkirk, a talking bear, has deemed Pigface the 7th prophet of the 13th month of Judas Maccabeus, the prophesizing in age-olds. Many ancestral coituses ago, if you are so inclined, his address or whereabouts are in the hands of Felix Gorman, although I doubt you will desire to ever imagine the fascist pig still being privileged to an equal life, the same one that Harold Pritchard and Arthur Hanfordshire of late were so mercilessly deprived. In my good-natured correspondence and sworn loyalty, Cornelius Abdiker Armin of Reese Icersnake Marchese. And so it was to last that Pigface existed in what he thought to be a victorious triumph until many years later, October 6th of 1995, when in his Danzig cottage, he opened a package containing 11 of Colombia's most poisonous orange tree frogs, each one of which sprayed a urinous vapor into his general direction. Immediately thereafter, the inhalations, he dropped unconscious to the floor and died within 1 hour. The package, incidentally, had been mailed by Clark Weathersbury and Henry Wolfsheim, who subsequently had acquired the address of Pigface through Armin and Gorman. 6 months later, contrary to popular belief that the 11 frogs had devoured the body of George Günther Schwartz, his body was discovered floating down the Oder River on the border of the Deutsche Demokratische Republik and Poland. So it came to pass that the 2 psychiatrists were responsible for his murder, but the culprits of the river journey were never revealed. However, despite their anonymity, were hailed. In conclusion, Klaus and his foxy wife were remarried, and Robert Slauson, who had been acquitted in the Carl Leecher trials, ended up becoming a senator for Wisconsin. But nobody liked that jackass in the first damn place, so he faded away like a bad case of AIDS. Oh well, we all die in the end. Anyway, which how, I must say it all ended up pretty righteous scene in the perfect end. Norman Rockwell Jr. moved to Wyoming, Sheridan, I think, and went completely nuts. Dr. Lily Stuba went in and out of sexually stupendous affairs with Klaus, but Cecilia never left him regardless of his lavish, freewheeling, and Mormon sex life. It was all fabulous, though. Absolutely fabulous, I assure you. And as for everybody else, I just don't have the muscles in my right hand anymore. And I'm only right-handed, so you can shrug your shoulders or play your pity games, but it still won't change the fact that I probably have 4 separate cases of carpal tunnel syndrome and a scorching case of the human immunodeficiency virus. So back off and be grateful for the adorable hair on your head. Hell, be thankful for the not-so-adorable hair I can imagine between your legs. The point is simply this. There's so many things to love, especially young girls, like the one this story was dedicated to, or the one that might be next to you right now. Oh God, I love girls. Forget money, it's all about love. July, Saturday the 14th, SS Easter egg. Now there are pictures of the people in the future, and a short afterward. Just come over here and look at this.
Listen, I was just applauding the good story.
Above is Reverend Schwartz's Milwaukee home near Jacket Oil. Shh. No, I'm not waiting for anything. You get over here now. Company, picture taken 1983. That was the house that all this stuff. Left is that's Gregorius Exxon Hochstetler in 1996, 1 year after Pigface's murder, age 67. That's Robert Slauson before the last trial in 96. Above is Arthur Hanfordshire being introduced to the president of Ethiopia. Left is Reverend Schwartz with his parrot Fangry in exile in Kuwait. This is the city of Grossbard, Kuwait, where George Gunter Schwartz was exiled in 1985. Below is Detective Harrison George and the fellas. Below this is a picture of the late Arthur Hanfordshire addressing a KKK march. Above is Norman Rockwell Jr. at his Sheridan, Wyoming mine in 1999. Left is Norman Rockwell Jr. and Henry Wolfsheim at the Exodus trial in 1985.
Drinking heavily.
That's Neil Abdiker Armin, age 83. That's Dr. Henry Phineas Wolfsheim, PhD, age 86. That's Ollie's character. The Reverend George Gunter Schwartz, the monkey killer, Pigface in Danzig at age 85. He continued to be a priest when he fled to Poland or whatever. That's Dr. Clark Roman Witherspoon, PhD, age 68. That's Adam Steffler's character. Miss Cecilia Harriet Kohlenmeyer Oppenheimer at age 82 at the Oppenheimer estate in Illinois. Kristen Watson. Klaus Yoda Oppenheimer, Esquire, age 82, me in a boat with dogs. The afterword. Oh, excuse me. And this is the Oder River in Germany and Poland, where the body of poisoned Reverend Gunter Schwartz was found in April of 1996. The afterword. And now the afterword, which formally sums up my book. What, when, and why was this book written? Well, let me tell you. The book was begun after the general plot of Kohlenmeyer versus Schwartz was verbally created and expressed by several individuals, the most important of whom was John C. Black, Kristen Watson, and myself. This regarding simply the play format of which was trashed by the school I go to. Sometime in May, well, very intoxicated by an amphetamine opiate mixture of drugs, which I was absorbing intranasally, I began and continued without rest, feverishly writing I Divorced the World. I stayed up 24 hours straight, about 15 of which were spent in a bathroom stall in my dormitory, where I intermittently stopped to snort massive quantities of oxycodone, methylphenidate, and dextroamphetamine. The remainder of the book was written here in the hospital, which is where I was sent shortly after the completion of I Divorced the World. The author, who is me, was born and raised in Barrington Hills, Illinois, October 7th, 1984, is the date of my birth. I write from a mental institution in northern Idaho. This book was officially completed on Friday the 13th, 2001. From my window, I see the highway, the Chevron, the Motel 6, McDonald's, Arby's, yuck, and the Shell station. This is pestilence, I assure you. Obadiah is the pen name of John C. Black, son of Peter, who is from Boise, Idaho. He's pretty cool. I'm so lame. And that, friends,